Welcome, everyone. It's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, Outlawed Live. Time to talk about everything and everything that has to do with outlaw truck and tractor pulling. Mike Idle, my buddy in Bevier, Missouri. How you doing?
Doing excellent, Ron. You're live from the state fair, I believe, but with a little different backdrop than I think you were hoping to be showing the folks.
Live from the Iowa State Fair. Normally we'd be outside and Jason would be with me. And we'd have tons of live in-person guests, but Mother Nature got her way here at the Iowa State Fair.
We'd been running from her all season long. This was only our second rain out of the year. We were on a hot streak, but all good things come to an end, and that's pulling sometimes.
It's an outdoor sport, is to be expected. And like you said, our very first night of our very first event was rained out in Ravenna, Nebraska. That really wasn't foretelling of anything serious to come for the whole season. This is, like you said, only our second. Today, our second. Tomorrow, our third rained out sessions. Looks to be good for Wisner, Thunder in the Valley. But just to explain to everyone, it wasn't supposed to rain up here in Des Moines for the State Fair yesterday. The most major rainfall in the forecast was for Wednesday. But I guess it drizzled all day and night yesterday and last night, and the case, as it usually is, the track could have been saved, no problem, but getting haulers in and out of the pit area and getting them in and out of the pit area without making an absolute mess and mud bog of their arena, their area here. So we opted to let them make the decision. We could have made it work, but they decided to go ahead and cancel it for both days. So no Iowa State Fair Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pull this year. It's on to Wisner, where, oddly enough, Mike, crazy. I was looking at this schedule graphic here last night, and it's amazing how far we are into the schedule. It feels like we just started this thing.
What an awesome summer it's been, and what a wild summer. I think we've got national level points wrapping up in the next couple of days over there at Wisner. I think the light limited modifieds are going to tie a bow on their season before this weekend's over.
Look at that schedule, though. Starting in the left, top corner, we're down in the, the bottom third,
bottom 25%
right now. We're almost here. But Wisner this weekend, one event, Madison, South Dakota next week. Then we take the week off for Labor Day. Then it's Unionville, Buckner when we come back from Labor Day. Then it's Bedford, Spencer weekend. Then we take a break till the end of November, and it's Lufkin, and we're done. Wow.
Yeah, it went.
Can you hear me, Mike?
On one hand, it feels like the season was a year long, and on the other hand, it feels like it was about a week. That's what I'm learning about pulling. It goes that fast. Wouldn't have it any other way. What an awesome first year it's been from my perspective with the Outlaws. Can't wait to be at Wisner. Wisner only takes up one line right there on the schedule, but it's still a 3-day event, and it's going to be a huge pulling event when we get out to Thunder by the River. Lot of good pulling left to be done. So don't get sad yet, folks. We're on the back half of the schedule, but a lot of good iron to go down the track. A lot of points championships to be wrapped up. Some points championships have wrapped up outside the national schedule.
Yep. Let's look at that. Let's check in real quick, folks, because I don't want to get behind on this. Zane Tony checking in, saying hello. Thanks for watching. Jeremy Kurtzadina and Mike, I may grab some of these because my controls are kind of slow here.
Sure.
I'm depending on
I'll bring them up. No. Sure, no problem. So he says, good luck to all the tractor pullers. Pick up pullers at Wisner Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Case Conover says hello from Lytle, Texas. He's a faithful watcher. Case with his case. I always remember him. So thanks for watching this evening. And that pretty much brings us up to scratch. Cole Lundahl, evening from Wakefield, Nebraska. Cole, I'm sure we'll see you in one capacity or another in Wisner. Keep up the great work. Always love hearing your insights in the world of truck and tractor pulling. So well done. And Robert Miner, they're rolling in now. Mr. Ron says hello from Niobrara, Niobrara, Nebraska.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, you're going to have to run the controls there because my signal is kind of sketchy. We do have a special guest coming on tonight, Mike, from Case IH. Adam Summerlot will be on tonight. He'll be on about 7:15. So we look forward to talking to him and talk to him about the 2024 Outlaw Superfan Contest sponsored by Case IH, giving away that tractor. That's coming up here in the very near future as well, buddy. So looks like Ted Seeke checking in from Madison.
Yep, from Madison. And Cole giving us an update, says he'll be working the live stream Thursday and Friday and taking pictures on Saturday. I thought we had him lined up, so can't wait to see you again. Cool. It's going to be a great time. Yeah, the Case IH Superfan, the Superfan giveaway. Which one do you need, Ron?
Bring up those graphics, the points graphics for those regions, those 3 regions that have finished up here: the Light Limited Pro, Super Farm, and Limited Pro.
Okay, let's do you. We'll go right down the order that we have them listed over here. So starting with Super Farms regional. So these are regional points, right, Ron? To all our fans out there,
yep.
Something that the Outlaws did. Have they done this in the past, or this is the first year they've ran a regional circuit, correct?
First year that I know of that we've done this, and this was simply because we had so many hooks, and it kind of gave the pullers an option. You could pull the national schedule. It has more hooks, of course, more money at the end of the points rainbow, but the regional schedule has fewer hooks and still a points fund. Yep. And we gave the pullers, give them a choice. Do you want to make all the big hooks, or you want to make the regional hooks? Some of these pullers actually have been making all of them. So
yeah, it was interesting. I saw some guys stick to the national points. George Beyer kind of comes to my mind. He seemed to kind of hug that national schedule pretty tightly. Some guys used the regional area as a test and tuner if they had a secondary driver. I know Jared Johansson had his boy drive regional this past weekend. I think Brady Gosler and Bubba Gosler had some. Yeah, we saw. I think his name's Brayton. Made a debut in the Blaze of Glory for regional. And then you see some like Chad Weisenkamp who just put the knuckles to the buckles and said, why the heck can't I win them both? So it was fun to see how they chose to let that play out. So tell us about our regional Super Farm winners here.
So cool. Yeah, Chad Weisenkamp wraps up the points win there in regional Super Farm points. Alan Andrews, second, the Dakota Deer. Chad and Brady Andrews, the Bruley Buck at third. The Red Rock team, Dave Rosaboom, Barry Haverhalls, Kirk Koima, that crew winning fourth, and Luke Schmidt, the Cornhusker Cadillac, Tough John Deere. Glad they're back in the race this year, finishing out the top 5 there. Of course, Blaze of Glory right outside the top 5 and 6th. How did he do? How did the Blaze of Glory do with the new rookie driver there? Mike,
it was a very comparable run at Mr. Consistent. Let's pull up his results really, really quick if I could find them from West Point, Nebraska. We had several. We had 3. I think we had 3 first-time drivers hooking out there between Weeping Water and West Point this weekend. No kidding. The Blaze of Glory finished with the top 10. Brayton Johansson pulled at 3:22.85 for a number 9 finish. Field of 12, he grabbed a top 10 finish. That's something he's going to be proud of moving forward. I know Jared was trackside and was looking very satisfied with the performance.
Good. It's always scary for dads to turn that seat over to the son or the daughter for the first time, not only because it's the first time with their child, but they might be saying bye-bye to that seat for forever once the kid gets
we also saw Cody Jedlicka in the Feedlot Special make his debut Thursday night at Weeping Water, and then John Lace in the Light Limited Pro Stocks did hook the Destructive Deer for the first time ever. So 3 debuts made between Weeping Water and West Point. So a lot of fun things, a lot of fun stories in the Outlaw pulling circuit.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Let's look at another one here. Let's look at Light Limited Pro.
Light Limited Pro Stock. So here's another one. The more things change, the more they stay the same, with names like Chad Weisenkamp and Brady Gosler finishing on top of these regional points here.
Yeah, Brady Gosler, spare time. He's been pretty dominant all year.
Yeah.
Number 2 there is a new one there that we don't see in national points that high. You know, he was peaking at the right times or coming to the right pulls there for the region. Mark Van Manen out of Rock Valley, that John Deere 7810, taking second in regional points. Congratulations to him. I mean, that's going up against some tough customers here. Mike Mason-Brink, former points champ in Inches Matter. Mike Hargens and Wildside in fourth. The Resurrected Deer, Jeff Siebert rounding out the top 5 there in regional Light Limited Pro points.
No. It's been fun to watch the two Mikes and Brady battle it out at both levels this year. That's been a great one to look at. And our Limited Pro stocks, another not a lot of big surprises here.
A couple of mean farmers in there in the top 5.
Yep, the disgruntled agriculturalists.
That's the politically correct statement.
That's how I started announcing it. I said we have the mean farmer and one mean farmer, so we just have some disgruntled planners out here. I guess they're just frustrated. But yeah, Dave Novak
takes
doing what he does. So
the young and the old right there in the top 2. Lane Paulson second. Life in the Fast Lane. Brian and Justin Deck. I would want to mention Justin. They're driving the Dream On. He's a young gun too. Jamie Yonke, young gun, was moving on. And Roger Rui, the new and improved one mean farmer, taking 5th. So congrats to all those regional points winners in those 3 classes: Limited Pro, Light Limited Pro, and Super Farm. Congratulations to those folks. Mike, you got a few more comments over here. I'm going to let you handle them since you've got the connection here.
Sure, no problem. So Dick Blankenspore says he's watching from Inwood, Iowa. Thanks for watching tonight. Austin Fluid. Hello from Larchwood, Iowa. Hope to be in attendance Friday night. Larchwood, Iowa. That's is that Ulmer Mafia area?
Sweet Pain there.
That's what I thought.
Ulmer Mafia territory.
Jared Krudlik from Burt County, Nebraska. Very ready for Saturday. So we're seeing a couple back-to-backs here, talking about Friday and Saturday. Thunder by the River in Wisner, Nebraska. Ron, that's one that I know we just highlight. That's one we circle when the year starts, because that's one of the cornerstone pulls. Cameron Woida says hello from Malmo, Nebraska.
Malmo, that's a new one for me. Yeah.
And PJ Minnow says PJ Minnow is watching from Manila. Mr. Manila himself. PJ, of course, on our technicians crew. Just a top tier nice guy and fun pulling enthusiast. He's one that always enjoy seeing out there. Ben Holdmeyer, hello from Washington, Missouri. A lot of passion coming out of Washington, Missouri after last weekend, Ron. I've heard a lot of good things here in North and Central Missouri. People are raving about that one. They really liked what they saw. Yep.
The 74 mods, I think, really wowed the crowd out there in Washington. It was a good time. I have to say, too, credit to that whole crew there in Washington, Missouri, the Town and Country Fair, as well as the folks with the Illinois Tractor Pullers Association. Everything worked. We just meshed together and worked as a team and had a great weekend.
It was fun to see a lot of the crossover. It's not crossover iron, but pairing that show with ITPA to get to see some stuff fresh in some different territory was really neat. Seth Gosler out of Ute, Iowa, checking in, saying hello. And to bring us up to par, Jared Aholt says hi from Washington, Missouri. Just like we said, thanks for the show. There's some buzz going out of Eastern Missouri right now, so we love to hear that, love to see it.
Yep, thanks for tuning in, Gerard. I got to chat with Gerard some out there in Washington as well. Nice guy.
Excellent. Getting some messages coming in. Mark Fisher says he's watching from the livestock trailer at the Iowa State Fair. So they're coming from all over the place tonight, Ron.
Kevin Davis is watching. Chad Ward is watching.
Yeah. No.
We've got a guy in the green room here. We probably ought to tend to him too here, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you.
Absolutely. We'll bring him on board.
Bring him here. Adam Summerlot. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Adam?
You got it 100% right.
Just like it's spelled. Adam, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Now, I didn't get your title yet, but I think you're the owner of Case IH. Is that right?
Original founder.
You forgot an "and" in there. I'm an owner of a Case IH, I think is the product.
That's good.
No, I'm the channel marketing manager for Case IH North America. So glad to be here with you guys.
Channel marketing. Where are you? Where are you holed up this evening?
I'm actually in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Oh, perfect.
That's
way down southeast.
Wasn't far
Missouri.
from you last weekend.
No. So I hear you guys talking about Washington. That's just up the road a little bit.
I tell you, we had a huge crowd in Washington. It was a good time. I think that we've got a good future going there. That's a nice event, a great fair. They've got a great arena there, and said they're going to expand the pit parking even more next year. So that was the only. If you had any kind of negative to say about it, and I don't know any negatives, I would say maybe it could use some pit parking. But they said we're already on it. Going to make some more room next year even. So that was a great event there. That's one I think folks put on their bucket list for sure.
Be a good one.
So Mike, I'm going to let you kind of, because my stuff is freezing up a little bit here, and I can't.
So coming in and out. So Adam Summerlot, first of all, thank you for joining us, and just let us say on behalf of the Outlaws, thank you for the teamwork and the sponsorship from Case IH, the title sponsor of the Outlaws. It's one of those that we couldn't do it without, and it's a partnership we couldn't be happier with. And the match made in heaven this year, and I think last year we had it as well, is the Case IH Superfan experience. What has been your role in helping to orchestrate that, or what does that look like from your side of things? And you just tell us how that Superfan experience has come out to be.
So it's been something we're very proud to do. We're very excited to sponsor you guys, work with you guys, and be a sponsor of this event. It's one that in the past we would bring folks into Racine. We would do some VIP experiences at the plant, but we had kind of a new product hit into last year that we had a limited launch of, looking to move farther out with our Farmall 25 SC. And so we thought, what better way to celebrate a new tractor than to give one away? And so the grand prize this year is a Farmall 25 SC with a mower deck and a loader, plus $4,000 to help cover taxes. So we're very excited for that. Excited to be back in that space and have really something for everybody, from a 715 horsepower quad track all the way down to the 25 SC. Really gives us a great lineup. So we're excited to give that away at the end of the season. And we'll be looking forward. I know we've gotten a lot of interest from what I can see so far. So I'd encourage everybody to take a look at it.
So on our side of things, and this is, just a match made in heaven, because whether you're a super fan of outlaw truck and tractor pulling or a super fan of Case IH, or you have agricultural roots, on our side of things, they can go to www.outlawpulling.com and enter, or we have QR codes that are established at all of our events. Is there anything that they can do to enter in local dealerships on your side of things?
So because we wanted to structure this as a partnership with you guys, that is the way to enter today.
Exclusively. So right here, you've got to be the Outlaw Case IH Superfan. So www.outlawpulling.com, or live at our events, where we'll have multiple QR codes set up around the venue. Scan it on your phone. Enter. I think they can enter, what is it, Ron, up to 6 times to win or something like that?
I'm not sure. I think you read that off of there last week, Mike. But
I know you and I have slightly different scripts. I don't know if the owner wanted to make sure that we stayed unique in our announcing philosophies, but my script is a little different than yours. And according to mine, it says up to 6 chances to win. But I would just encourage folks, enter as much as you can, and it'll kind of tell you what you can and can't do.
Best way to enter is enter live at every event.
I couldn't agree more.
There you go.
Yep. So
I remind people at every event when I announce that part, that about that contest is you can't win if you don't enter. So you got to enter to win this thing, and it's it's the real deal. Let's run the commercial real quick. You guys mind if I run a commercial?
Yeah. So there's your QR code right there. I wonder if we have, this thought just popped in my head, and of course we don't watch outlawpulling.tv a ton because we're usually at the events. Ron, I wonder if we've got that QR code, and I'm almost certain we do. If they're watching from outlawpulling.tv, they can scan that as well. That'd be a good way to get that out there.
Yeah, that's the same commercial that runs across the live stream.
Yep.
Every once in a while during the live stream events. So yeah, that QR code, it's on a poster. We usually put it right at the entrance, spectator entrance. People get a good view and they can scan that code. And of course, they see that commercial, 3 or 4 times during an event as well if they're watching on the live stream. And Adam, I just wanted to say, last year that Case IH experience, I was lucky enough to get to go to that last year, and I was blown away by the tour. How much of the building of the Case Magnum tractors actually is done in-house. The transmission cases are machined there and put together there. Some of the gears are cut there, and the hardening of the axle shafts and things, and what that takes. I was blown away by it. I thought it was an awesome experience for me.
That's a point of pride for us that we're able to do as much of it in-house as possible in Racine, Wisconsin, where we've been building tractors since the mid-1800s, starting with steam. It's really a great facility. We've got a great experience center there, which is open to the public. We've got a little bit of a museum that we have there. So if you like old Case tractors, you like old IH tractors like I do, it's a great place to check some of that out, along with some newer toys that are sitting on the showroom as well.
Yeah, my grandpa and his brothers. My grandpa was a Case guy, and his closest brother was a Farmall guy. So I got it from both sides there. I learned how to drive. My first tractor driving experience was on a 53 Case tractor that my grandfather had. So yep, I'm a Case guy from way back.
So you were a kid in a candy store looking at the JI Case steam engines all the way up to the cabless prototypes that they've got sitting up there as well.
I was lucky enough to. Go ahead, Adam.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say my dad also worked at a Case dealership when I was a kid, and at Christmas time, I was lucky enough to get those cool Erdl tractors.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The one tractor that really stood out to me at the museum there, Adam, was that 76 Agri King. I had that Erdl tractor when I was like 6 or 7 years old. That I got it for Christmas that year. But my dad got one of those for me, one for my brother, and he bought one for himself. And he told my brother and I, don't take it out of the box. How do you tell a 6-year-old kid not to take a toy tractor out of the box and play in the dirt with it? So the stickers, it was a nice toy, but stickers don't stick very well when it's in the dirt all the time.
No, that's one thing. And I guess for those who hadn't been there, we do have it is a Stars and Straps edition Agri King. And so it's been redone because I don't know that all the stickers always stuck so well in the dirt in real life either.
Yeah.
We've added a couple of new things just from the history. We've had the last 5488. We added our most recent one. We brought Farmall 1 back in on display there, which is the first production Farmall. And we've also got, I don't know what you actually what they actually call it. I call it the 2+ Magnum, which was an articulated Magnum prototype developed in the early 90s that is on display there as well. So there's some neat stuff if you're into some of the old iron along with the new.
Absolutely. Was there an F20 in there as well?
There is.
That one, F20 in there.
That one was done by one of the collectors clubs at Red Power Roundup for us. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you said you're in the channel marketing. What's a day in the life look like for Adam's Summer Lot?
So along with the rest of my team, we work with our dealers. We're really out to help drive our dealer success, make sure our dealers are taken care of from a marketing perspective, as well as make sure we're all telling the story of what our equipment is and what it can do. And so that's really where we live. There's a team of 4 of us that work with me that are out in the field every day, working with dealers, trying to do the best we can.
You know, one thing I love to announce, I've been around the light limited pro stock class a lot this year, and there's a couple of them that don the old demonstrator sheet metal in that. And I always like to talk about what that means and paying homage to that. So in marketing, are we still going out farm to farm every once in a while and displaying just what we're capable of? Or what's the best way that you've found to kind of show what Case IH is capable of doing in this modern way of doing things?
Absolutely nothing beats being in the seat, being behind the wheel, a piece of iron. And I'll tell you, one of the most fun experiences in my career actually happened in White, Texas. Would have been 2 years ago now. You bring the demonstrator up. We did a limited run of Black Knight demonstrator magnums. And I lost the coin toss. I didn't get to drive, but we got to hook it to the sled, do an exhibition pull that night with it for the 400 Magnum. That was an awesome sight to see going down the track. But the demonstration program, we don't always have the demonstrator tractors like that, but our dealers are always more than happy to work with somebody on getting them behind the wheel, get them the hands-on experience of what those machines can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we opened the Iowa State Fair, I believe, last year with one of those black demonstrators as well. Pretty cool. Those things definitely draw the attention of the eye to them sitting there. And,
you were talking about your Ertl tractors, Ron. I went over to the Valley Acre Toys, and even as a grown man, I had to buy myself a 1/64th scale of one of those black ones. They're mean looking. Those are cool vehicles.
One of the most fun projects we've gotten to mess with, because it's different. It catches attention, and it just looks sharp in that black. Especially the one we had in Texas, we had the windows blacked out on, so you get that full blackout look, and it was mean looking. So
the new Quadra tractor, Adam, I had a chance to drive one of those at the Case IH Experience, but that was in November in Racine, Wisconsin. It was a little cold that day, and the lady that was in front of me in line, she took more than one round in the yard out there, and I decided to go in and get warm, so I didn't get to drive that Quadra track.
You know, we'll try to figure something out. I don't always get access to the fun stuff. I think I've gotten to drive one once, but that is one we're proud of. That big 715 quad track. I'd say last year was a fun year. We called it the year of the tractor. We launched the biggest thing on our lineup and the smallest thing on our lineup at the same time. And so we got to have a lot of fun with that. Really proud of both of those machines and that heritage on both sides of what they can do.
What's the next big thing coming down the pike here for Case IH, Adam? Or can you tell us? You know, what can you tell us here?
So we've got a few fun things I can talk about. So last year we called the year of the tractor. This year for us, it's the year of the combine.
Oh,
and the exciting thing about that is we've been launching new models about every 90 days. And so we kicked it off this year with our first Class 10 Plus combine, the AF11, 567 bushel grain tank, 396 gallon fuel tank. So it's going to keep you in the field, keep you running, dual 1200 Pro displays so that you can keep an eye on what's going on, see what your crops are doing, see what your combine's doing. This thing is a mean machine. We followed that up with the 260 series, which is really the evolution of our 250 series. We improved the operator environment. We added the dual 1200 Pro displays, plus bringing in just some other improvements and refinements on that already well-established, amazing axial flow technology. So that's the 260 series, and those came out in Q2. So around that May, June timeframe. The only thing I can tell you from there is if we're on a 90-day schedule, stay tuned.
We're getting close.
Stay tuned. So there's more to come. The other big thing for us is really technology. It's not just about the iron. I grew up on a 1256 International. There was iron and not much else. But really, to meet the needs of our customers today, we know we've got to have the technology package with the connected machines. So we talk about things like dual 1200 Pro displays in the cab to be able to better monitor what's going on in the field. We talk about things like connectivity that's included in some of the new packages with the machines. We talk about things like Field Ops. It's our new management platform that's fully launching in the next few weeks. So we've got a lot of new things, and it's really focused on what we call purposeful solutions. It's understanding that it's not just a tractor, it's not just a planter, it's not just a combine. It's part of something you're trying to get done, whether that is landscaping around the house or planting, seeding, harvesting some of the biggest fields in the world. And we've got solutions to cover every one of them.
Ron, that reminds me.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just say that what Adam just said reminds me of your advertisement that you read. It talks about the abbreviated list of what Farmall can't do, and you list off, everything it can do, and it's easier to just say what these guys aren't looking out for, because they cover it top to bottom. So
you talk about what. Sorry, guys, but you talk about the connectivity and making it easier for user friendly and things like that. Jason Schultz with Beer Money Pulling Team, he comes on the show sometimes, and he bought a Tesla, Adam, so he could actually post to social media while he's driving, so he doesn't have to pay attention to the road with that self-driving feature. Are there case combines and tractors out there that would allow, like, say, Mike Idle to go in there and post to social media and not really pay a whole lot of attention?
I mean,
when you get 715 horses at your disposal, we don't recommend it. Now, our monitors do have the capability to tie your phone in through Bluetooth, so you can take calls. The cab of the tractor really becomes your office, and that 1200 display becomes the hub of that office. But no, we would recommend not posting from the tractor.
But Ron, I can drive and have driven an F12. So while I cannot operate one of these combines while doing a Facebook Live, I have driven an F12, and that's about as close to agriculture and tractor pulling and tractor driving that I get.
That is an impressive thing. That is an impressive feat in and of itself.
Oh, I didn't start it. I didn't say I started it. I just drove it.
It makes you thankful for what we have today.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Go ahead, Mike, if you can hear me.
Well, I'm gonna grab a couple comments here. We were talking about that 2+ Magnum. So Ryan Rusink says he's good friends with the gentleman who restored that. And Case Conover says he's got a 1070 Golden demonstrator. So long lineage of history. And as a matter of fact, I think they even have sitting behind me. They come all the way from these J.I. Case Corporation 60 horsepower steam engines through the demonstrator stages to the 2+ now to the technology company. I mean, I was watching agriculture is almost becoming a technology type company, which is exactly what you've been talking about. So lots of neat ways to spin it, no matter how you look at it.
It is definitely is at the end of the day, we all know we've got to, as farmers, we'll have to do more with less, whether it's more with less funds as prices change, or it's just the fact that we lose ground every day to urban development, other things. There's more people to feed and less place to do it with. So we've got to have solutions that bring us to a point where we can do that. And that's where we really fit in the ag industries. That's where we bring those solutions to market.
How often do you get out to a truck and tractor pull? Are you at the end of the day, are you a big outlaw truck and tractor pulling fan as well? I mean, surely
So
you're able to kind of stroll in anytime you want and grab the
I
big
would,
seats with the Case IH sponsorship.
I would love to say that I make a lot more of them than what I do. Sadly, I think the last one was White Right that I've been at my schedule allowed me to make in the last couple of years. Been connected to it for a long time. I refuse. I will not get on one. I don't want to be a driver, but I love building them. Helped build a 1256 Hot Farm, and a couple of others over the years that just really, I love that side of it. I love the mechanical side of it, the engineering side of it. And it pains me that I don't get to make it out as much, but hopefully going to make it out to a couple yet this fall.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Adam, we've got, I don't know if you check out our schedule, we've still got some pulls left this year, some really good ones. So if you find any openings in that schedule, man, we'd love to have you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping to make it out. I've been looking at the schedule all year going, okay, what am I going to be this week? So we'll get
Adam,
out there.
Thanks so much for coming on tonight, man, taking the time to come on with us. This is usually our Iowa State Fair edition, but Mother Nature won this one, rained us out for both days. So we're on to Wisner, Nebraska for 3 days, Thursday through Saturday this week, our next big event. So thanks so much for coming on. Case IH, can't say enough about the company. I was super impressed with everything that the Case IH has done for pulling in general for the Outlaws, and impressed with that experience, that Case IH experience up in Racine last year. That blew me away. That was right up my alley. I recommend that for anybody. So thank you so much for what you guys are doing for the Outlaws and for pulling.
Thank you guys. We're proud to do it. Appreciate the support you guys give us in return. I'm happy to be a part of Outlaw Pulling.
Thanks so much. Adam Summerlot from Case IH. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Very cool.
Sorry, I'm so jumpy on here, Mike.
No, it's all good.
Delay.
Yep. And that's tough. That's one of the hardest things. You've got your questions primed and ready, and then there's always that little bit of, you can only do so much with internet. Kind of like I announced in Weeping Water this weekend, and you'd always told me, you said you're not going to like announcing from an enclosed area, and I've never done that before. And that is a very different feeling when you can't hear yourself and you can't hear the crowd. There is almost that built-in delay. So you just overcome and roll with it.
So, yeah, thanks for Adam for coming on. I know, we've been talking to Case IH about bringing somebody on for a while, and it is a great company. And
yes,
they made us feel really at home last year when we went up there to the Case IH experience, and that was an awesome experience. I would recommend that to any gearhead out there, even if you're a John Deere guy. I mean, I would still recommend it. It was pretty cool to see all the stuff they actually did in-house. Mike was cutting their own gears and hardening shafts, and it's like machining their transmission cases. Some companies will farm that stuff out, and it's like, no, they're still doing it all like they always have right there in-house. So, really cool.
Well, didn't you say you were surprised? You were sending me a lot of fun pictures, and I appreciate that, and I enjoyed that. Right. But didn't you tell me that there was a different color of tractor there that they actually do some work for or produce, and you were
C&H stands for Case. Yeah, Case New Holland. They make the New Holland tractors as well. And in the line of Magnum tractors that I saw that was in the final line of assembly there, that they were pretty much together and they're just checking them over and firing them up and such. There's probably 8 or 10 red tractors and one blue one in the mix there. And
I hadn't put the pieces together that C&H, was Case New Holland. So always fun. It's neat to see the way that those expand and merge and come together. I like the history side of it, and go all the way back to J.I. Case and move all the way up through Farmall and International and everything else that's melded and merged. So that would be very cool to see.
Let me hit you with some history here now, Mike. Let me tease your brain a little bit. The J.I. Case symbol is an eagle, right?
It's the eagle. Yep.
Eagle. And you see a lot of reference to that in pulling names for Case tractors, the Iron Eagle, things like that, Screaming Eagle. That Eagle was an actual existing, that was a Wisconsin cavalry regiment that had that Eagle
kidding.
with them. And his name was Old Abe, the Wisconsin War Eagle. Is what they call it. That's an actual eagle that was in existence. That was part of a cavalry regiment in Wisconsin.
Wow! So that was a live mascot at one point with a storied history. I love looking at the Haug tractors because you get up close to them and they've got that original Case emblem where it's perched atop the globe, and they've got that proudly displayed on their fenders. And people think of Case IH and they tend to think of International first because it adopted the red color. But there's a lot of true Case fans out there that would say that the Case roots are just as deep as the International roots in the merging of the two companies.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's check one more. We didn't check these results. Adam came on and we wanted to get to him, but
yep.
I wanted to go over one more points final, and that is the first final of the modified two-wheel drives, Mike, the Holganics Midwest Summer Sweep. And you got to announce the final for that, Mike. There you go. Matt Phelps in the dirt winning that. So you were there at West Point. Now, this was just this past Friday night.
Yes.
In West Point, Nebraska. Tell us about that pull. You had a lot of hooks there.
So what we had going on here, we had Matt Phelps and Luke Renner going into it. I think Matt Phelps entered the Holganics Midwest Summer Sweep with a 2 or 3 point lead. Now in the national standings, they were flipped, and I think they still might be. I think Luke Renner is maybe still on that number 1 spot. I'm a rookie announcer who sucks at math, who is announcing a 2-track show by himself without my buddy Ron Stone to add for me. So I had it all slated out beforehand. I said, okay, here's their numbers, and I have my plus signs ready to go. And I was just praying that they were just going to go 1 and 2 because that's going to be the easiest way to sort it out. So Joshua Rail and David Jeems decided to throw me a curveball, or at least Joshua Rail did, I think. And he went out and won the doggone thing, not even competing for points. So then we've got to remember that 28 goes to 26 and makes this
27. Yeah.
Well,
the winner, if non-points, if a non-points puller wins, then the next in line, if it's an outlaw puller, gets 27.
Oh, see, and I needed you, Ron, because in my little sheet I wrote down plus 26. So I'm learning stuff. You only
get that bonus point if you get first, not if you get second. But still, you're the top outlaw. You don't get a bonus unless you actually win.
Okay. So Luke was battling ignition issues. Luke had pulled the night before with the Heartland division right there in West Point, Nebraska. And I spoke with him earlier in the day, and he said that they were having some ignition shut off. They were having some problems with it. They went all the way down to like a speedway in Kansas or something, picked up a part, felt confident about it. Phelps was your test hook, laid one out there, tried and true, kept it. Kind of told the field to come chase him, and you knew right within the first 100 feet that Renner's truck wasn't gonna be where he wanted it to be. So Matt Phelps walked away victorious in a tough class of trucks where the Missouri guys tried to throw a wrench into things. I want to say David Jeems snuck up in there.
He did.
He did as well.
He actually ended up third, Mike.
That's kind of what I thought. So Joshua Rail won it, and Joshua Rail's been an interesting story this year. Showed up in Concord, Nebraska, was going to hook once and be done with the doggone thing, and then kind of like a boomerang, just kept coming back and kept winning. So it's going to be fun to see what he chooses next year. But Matt Phelps in the dirt is one of those trucks that I just feel knocks right on the door and has been very deserving of a championship, and not out of the question that he might get it done in both sides of things the way that story is developing right now. So congratulations to him on winning our first Holganics Midwest Summer Sweep points of the 2024 season.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at David Jeems' Black Sheep, he missed what he missed, one or two hooks, or at least one hook in the sweep. They had driveline issues. Yeah.
He was not at Pawnee City. It was, I think Pawnee City was a sweep hook, and he was broke and missed that one entirely. So yeah, if you could imagine he would have hooked there, surely he picks up at least 20 points. He's going to be right in the thick of things for that.
Could have, very well won it, or I think maybe that he had a good shot at it, considering if you look at the spreadsheet, there's a lot of 28s for the Black Sheep. In other words, first place hooks, except the one he missed, of course. But he was able to scratch back and finish third. If you can see, he's tied with the Mean Farmer. And the only reason that Black Sheep got third was because he did have more wins than the Mean Farmer. That's the tiebreaker there. So the Mean Farmer, Lloyd Woman, gets fourth, and the Mama's Nightmare, only 2 points behind that group, those two guys, in fifth. And you can see Farmer's Daughter in sixth, Racing Mason seventh.
Yeah.
Racing Mason, another one that missed a pull or two, could have possibly maybe been another spot higher or so. But that summer sweep from Organics Midwest pays down 5 spots. So it gets paid out at the banquet. So, 3 regional point series in the books now, along with one of the 11 hooks in the Organics Midwest Summer Sweep. So congrats to all those winners.
Yeah, absolutely. And those modified two-wheel drive trucks put on a great show to kickstart things out in West Point. West Point was Ron, that was a fun pull. I'm not going to lie. Washington got a lot of attention this week, as it well should, but I really walked away from West Point clapping my hands and tipping my cap. There was a lot of iron there. They ran it through in under 3 hours. That one was just one of those pulls I didn't know much about going into, but I left from that one saying, dang, that was impressive.
Yeah, you guys, they were flying for sure, because I remember looking at the app and seeing all the results, and I was like, whoa, they're like almost done.
It was one of those where I had my clipboard and, I go to check and see, like, okay, who are my next 3 classes? And we're on the last one. And I was like, wait a minute, we didn't buzz through all 8 of these already, but I'll be darned if we didn't. So that's a track prep crew and just everyone firing on all cylinders,
That pull has grown so much in the past few years, Mike. Different location and able to run 2 tracks. Kudos to that crew for, really stepping up their game for that program.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. Good weekend for the Outlaws. A lot of good traverse this past weekend. That's how that's where you want to be. You hit August, you want to be, playing your best ball of the year. And I feel like that's kind of where our pullers are at right now.
Washington was fun, Mike. And we also were pulling down in DeLeon, Texas. Down there, we had a couple classes down there, complimenting the Texas Truck and Tractor Pullers Association down there. And I caught a little grief. I'll be honest, I caught a little grief. I saw some Facebook stuff out there, saying that we slighted DeLeon. And just to clear the record here, we really didn't. DeLeon moved their event to the second week, where it has been the first weekend. So kind of put us in a pickle, because we did have Macon scheduled for that Saturday. And we actually scheduled Washington for that Friday night before to compliment Macon. And then once Macon dropped out, Washington wanted that Saturday night as well. So it wasn't something done intentionally. It just happened that DeLeon moved their date, and, we couldn't cancel the other event because of that. So we made it work. It worked out. DeLeon had a good show. The Texas Truck Tractor Pullers had put on a good show, along with, the Outlaws that were there. All the Outlaws, I think, that were down there were from the Texas, within the Texas group there. But yeah, good pulls all the way around. I heard Weeping Water was a good show as well. So
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. And we get the band back together this weekend, buddy.
I love it. I'm so excited. We go back to Wisner. Just a fun time. We get to kind of put some roots down and wake up and be in the same place for 3 days in a row. And it's all hands on deck. It's we're both going to be up there working side by side, and Julie and Lori both, I'm sure, are going to be there, and just our whole crew. Wisner is one of those you just circle. It's like Rock Valley. You circle it earlier in the year, and you say, this is kind of what it's all about with the Outlaws right here. So Wisner week gets me very excited. Gets me Without, have you checked the 4-wheel drive truck lineup class? I'll say this: Wisner gets me fired up.
Last I checked, there were 16.
We got some of my buddies are going to come and hang out with us, so I'm amped up to see that. I throw them a lot of attention on here, but it's just a truck I grew up rooting for as a kid. So a lot of fun 4-wheel drives, including some local 2 local trucks right here out of Macon County going out to Wisner.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he was at
He's at Washington with the ITPA boys. Yeah.
Yep.
No. And it looks like Claypool has bounced back. I think Claypool was battling some breakage at one point in the season, so it looks like he is feeling optimistic about getting the risky business back out. So it doesn't matter what class you pick; it's gonna be big time this weekend at Thunder by the River.
Well, if you're a door slammer fan, 4-wheel drive pickups, 18 mod 4-wheel drives so far signed up for Thursday, 22 pro stock 4x4 signed up. So a total of 40 4-wheel drives in total between both classes. That's just Friday night. Or Thursday night, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Thursday. That's just the easing everybody in show. They've got, and Ron, I don't know if you checked out Let's Grow Pulling last night, where we had Megan and Doug on, and they gave us a look at the track. Brand new West Side bleachers for this year. So all brand new seating up on the berm on the west side, right there by the announcer's booth. So yeah, that with the Thunderdome and the new bleachers on the east side, and of course the sky boxes and the cottonwood trees in the staging area, and it's just a fun place to be, my friend.
Yeah, we're at 88 hooks right now, looks like, on the app for Thursday night. And that's the light night for
Wisner. That's the easing into the show.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to bring up here before we go into your piece when the smoke clears, Mike, is we saw a change in a points lead in the light modified class. Interesting going into the last couple of hooks.
I caught that, and I'll tell you what, this is 4 straight weekends. I wish we would have pulled on Friday, Saturday instead of Thursday, Friday, but 3 consecutive Saturdays, and then we'll follow that up with a Friday because I didn't hook on a Saturday. So 4 consecutive weekends. Gage Ott has been your winner. And when you start racking up a streak like that, you overtake Big Brother. This is a fun story we've got developing in that class.
And within the top 4, it's still pretty darn tight there. Wes Severs getting pushed back into 4th by Andrew Beckman's Pure Pressure.
A tractor that has just been on a redemption tour this year. That Pure Pressure has really, the stars have aligned for him in the second half of the season. You know, Ron Stone, he wants to come back to Wisner and prove to that track who's boss. So his redemption tour comes to a climax this weekend for sure.
That track cost him a little scratch last year, I think.
I didn't think we'd see him out at all this season after what happened in Wisner last year.
Yeah, big story there, Gage Ott. 2 points ahead of Big Brother. Will it be Little Brother to break the Big Brother streak? He had 3 back-to-back championships. Be interesting to see as that goes down this weekend.
Well, and they played a little musical chairs accidentally with tires. They bounced around. They tried out the me-toss tires, and both brothers took their shot with the me-tosses at various points throughout the year. And while shuffling who had whose, Brady's preferred set of tires ended up on Gage's modified. And Gage has been rather hesitant to give up his seat at the musical chair tire table. So it'll be fun. There might be some brothers talking tire in the off season. So
yeah, very, very cool. That's that. And it all goes down this weekend, the final 2 hooks for that light mod class.
Yeah. We're going to crown a champion before Saturday night is done with.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm skimming through the points here just to see if anything really has changed from
a lot
the
of
weekend.
green's been a fun story with the pro stocks. Kyle Karstens kind of trying to put his banner on things this year. I've enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah, that Matt Phelps and Luke Renner saga there. Yeah, Renner 1 point ahead of Phelps in that light mod class, or light modified two-wheel drive class.
Two-wheel drive, yeah.
Had
Yeah.
light mod on my brain there.
Oh yeah.
And their last hook is looks like Madison the following Saturday. So
and which is special to Matt Phelps because that's going to be his kind of hometown pull.
Yeah.
So can he pull off a walk-off win in front of the hometown crowd? You can't write stuff like this, Ron. This is, how can you not love truck and tractor pulling? Because every year there's a story somewhere like this that naturally develops. You know, Super Farms. Well, Chad Weisenkamp, is he going to sweep both the regional and the national? Same with Brady Gosler in the light limited pros. Is he going to take home 2 trophies this year? So lots of fun stuff that's going to come to a head over the next month.
Oh, and Pro Stock Semi at Washington, Mike, probably the best hook I've seen Brent Roberts make with his Peterbilt. He kicked their butts. You know,
That's simple as that.
Get close to him. The big bad binder couldn't get close to him. Joe Bear was back with the Ford. He didn't get near him. So Brent Roberts, all that hard work he's put into that black on track Peterbilt is paying off as he gets a good win there in Washington.
Good for him. And hard work is right. That's a man that I feel like if you called him up right now, if you were a promoter in Utah, if we had an outlaw pull in Utah, he said, hey, we want you to campaign this truck, he would go hop in the semi right now and haul it out there because he wants to grow that class and he wants to put on a good show for the fans. So hard work is definitely something that comes to mind when we talk about Brent Roberts.
Yeah, that was 2 nights too. He swept the weekend there in Washington, so he had a great weekend.
A fun truck. That's a crowd favorite. The kids love that class. Everybody loves that class. And when the green glow lights are going big at the big end, that's everybody wins with that.
So, Mike, this week when the smoke clears, I heard you have been like talking with some stars here, some Hollywood or something. I mean, what's this? Who you got this week?
Well, this week this one I kind of came in at the midnight hour, and I didn't know I was going to be on tonight, so I kind of had to get this one in quickly, and I am glad that it's a red one, because with our Case IH individual that we had speaking with us with Adam on here earlier, I'd look kind of silly if I brought a green one. But this week we're going to run with. We'll go ahead and play the video because I think it's ready to go. When the smoke clears, you're going to be looking at Tristan Meyer. All right. So Tristan Myers, your When the Smoke Clears featured driver. Biography sounds like this. He pulls a vehicle he calls rambunctious in the 8,500-pound light limited pro stock class. It's an International 1066. He's been pulling for 22 years. His first hook, he pulled garden tractors in the summer of 2000. First year pulling the big tractor, as he calls it, was the summer of 2010. His most memorable hook was his first ever outlaw win in Rock Valley and winning the Rock the same weekend. It says first outlaw win in Rock Valley and winning the Rock that same weekend. You know, we see that one come up a lot, Ron, when we ask people, what's your biggest memory or what's your number one? Anytime you get it done at Rock Valley, that's a common theme right there. He said his wildest ride, left that one blank, so we're going to leave that one up to the imagination. He, and some of them do that, and I've noticed that, like, there are pullers who will opt not to always give everything in specific questions. So, hey, if he doesn't want to talk about his wildest ride, or maybe knock on wood, he hasn't taken one yet, we don't want to jinx it. So that's perfectly acceptable. Yep. He said a points championship. He did grab one in the 2020 season with the light limited pro stocks. His biggest pulling hero are his dad and grandpa. And then he says, and maybe Andrew Meister a little bit too. So kind of fun to. Andrew Meister, of course, can win at the drop of a hat with the best of them. Says his best pulling advice: never give up and always make sure to have fun. His day job, he's a farmer. His pulling goals, he wants to win another points championship and pull at the National Farm Machinery Show. That's the second person in 2 weeks who has put the Louisville on their goal checklist, and I like that a lot. It says best part about being an outlaw is all of the pullers being a big family. He says it's hands down the best organization. And his message to the fans is to thank you guys for supporting us. Make sure to stop by and visit us in the pits. And you can follow them on social media, the Rambunctious Pulling Team on Facebook. So when the smoke clears, light limited pro stock, Rambunctious, piloted by Tristan Myers.
And he's a new daddy too. He's a new daddy.
Congratulations. Now he's also, is he an eco-tuning representative or something to that effect as well? That's what I thought.
He's an eco-tuning dealer down there in Fawcett, Missouri. And he also goes by the name Hollywood. So Hollywood Tristan Myers is
so your stars reference, that's one of those where I did not read the Outlawed Live notes ahead of time. So now I'm sitting here thinking, okay, good. Hollywood.
If he's watching, he's probably cussing me under his breath right now.
Now, did you give him that name?
I did. Yeah.
Give us the story, Ron. How did Tristan Myers come to be known as Hollywood?
I don't even recall exactly how that happened, but I know a couple of times I tried to talk to him on the show or something, and he was busy. And one time, I think it was actually at I was doing a before the show kind of tour of the pits, just walking around with my phone live on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And he was sitting on the back of his hauler on his phone, and I said, "There's Tristan Myers probably talking to his agent there."
That's what I was going to say. You got to contact his agent.
From there, I just started
to get to him.
Yeah. From that point on, I started calling him Hollywood Tristan Myers, and it kind of stuck for a while. So
I love it. I love it. We're bringing that back. We'll utilize that at Wisner.
Let's check a few more comments here. Looks like the wanted pulling team. Oh, yeah, see there.
Hollywood.
The wanted pulling team knows who Hollywood
is. And then Jim Harmon, who I try to speak to regularly. He's a big supporter of all things pulling. Good evening. Thanks for watching, Jim. Jim did a lot with the antique pullers at the Iowa State Fair. I think he even had a program on PBS. He had public broadcasting where they were highlighting some of the work that him and his crew with the Iowa antique pullers do up there at the State Fair. So very neat stuff to see out there.
Very cool. So, Mike, thanks for coming on tonight and saving my bacon here with my shoddy internet here. I'm in the camper at the Iowa State Fairgrounds. Of course, we got canceled here for the next 2 days, but on to Wisner. Thanks for coming on, Mike. Thanks for Adam Summerlot from KSIH coming on. Much appreciate him. And congratulations to all the winners of the region points series we had going this year that we tried, the light limited pro and super farm. And of course, congratulations to Matt Phelps winning the Holganics Midwest Summer Sweep modified 2-wheel drive class. Only 10 more champions to crown in that summer sweep. So, a lot of champions to crown. We got a lot of money to give away this year.
Oh, right? Yeah. Yep.
Stay tuned. Watch us live this weekend, starting Thursday night, Thursday through Saturday on Outlaw Pulling TV live from Thunder by the River in Wisner, Nebraska. Mike, I'm going to let you take us out of here since you've got the internet connection, bud.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Congratulations to all of our regional and Holganics points champions. Like Ron said, be sure to attend Thunder in the River if at all possible. If not, watch us on outlawpulling.tv. Good luck to all competitors. Mike Idle and Ron Stone from the Iowa State Fair and the Upstairs Outlaw office. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.
Mm-hmm.